think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
All right, welcome back to the Patriot Hour for Wednesday, November 13th, 2019. I'm Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us some time. Never take what we say here at the Patriot Hour to be 100% fact, 100% word. Use your own judgments. Use your own thought. Connect all the dots, listen to all the facts, watch everyone you can, read everything you can, believe none of it. None of it, folks, until you alone can verify it based off facts, connecting the dots, logical thinking. I see the last few videos, the trolls are out in full-fledged. These same people that have believed in a new world order all these years, but that's never happened. We've been getting closer to it every day, they suspect. Even when I followed along with that, same thing. All these false predictions, nothing would ever come. We're going to get microchipped. We're going to have the UN be in charge of everything, but yet that has never happened. But yet it looks like it's happening, and every day we're closer to it. Get your bug out bags, get all prepped. That's what you should do. While nothing's happening, no New World Order's taken over. And then you look at this picture over here, and it's the same thing. People are like, look, I've been listening for 6 months. I get it. These people are bad, but ain't nobody going to go down. I'm done. I'm done here. Well, where are you going? Flip off other shows similar to this one, and tune into CNN again, MSNBC again, Fox. Do your own research. Go back to the New World Order coming. Because there's been people bugging out since 1913, 1930, 1970. Nothing's happened. There's been no war with Russia. No fallout of nuclear war that's been promised for 50 years. So what's going on? There's lots going on, folks. If you've been paying attention, like I have, and the rest of us, if you're new here, if you understand what there's a fraction of what President Trump and the people around him are saying, and then there's this opposite narrative that the media is pitching, and basically the deep state. Trump's been wrong, they say, on everything. He tweets out one morning at 4 a.m. Obama spied on me. I can't believe this. They blah, blah, blah. And then every media channel that morning comes 6 o'clock when he did that at 4 a.m. They were saying, there's no proof. I got nothing on my desk. This is a lie. What does this man know? He doesn't know anything. He's stupid. But yet they claim that, as a citizen Trump outbeat the biggest spying apparatus in the world, which is the CIA and just our intelligence communities that take all of our dollars and tell us that they're spying on everybody to catch people doing things if they do it, especially terrorists. Well, how did they not catch Trump? Why did they have to wait till he was running? And then it was, oh my God, we think he's doing this. And they couldn't catch him. They had no proof. And then it went to 3 years of investigation after he beat them by cheating with Russia, supposedly. And they still got no evidence after 3 years after he supposedly did this. That's not a stupid man if that's what actually happened. But we know that's not what happened. They just say things. He's racist. He's stupid. But everything they say doesn't hold water. They have no proof. We have broken down the whole lie for the Russia hoax. It started with the Russia's hacking the DNC. We've proved that. We've questioned the government. Show us that proof. They literally said from Russia they hacked the DNC. Well, when you look at that string file, that happens anytime you download or put a thumb drive or hook up a hard drive to a computer. Anytime you move a file around, whether it's downloaded from the internet, from a network, or physically sitting at the device with a thumb drive shoved into the USB port or a hard drive shoved into the USB port, and you take a file and you drop it, drag and drop it on the hard drive, guess what? There's a receipt. How long it took to transfer off the device. It's all embedded in the stringer code. You can look at it. We have. And it doesn't add up. The file transfer rate is at like 49 megabytes. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot when you're talking high speed. And with working within our US, you can get terabyte speeds, all right? Gigabit internet. You can get 300 megabyte. You can get 1024 megabyte, which is equal to 1 gig. But if you go to download something from here in the US all the way over to Russia, you don't get those kinds of speeds. There's limitations. And at the time that the government says that Russia hacked the DNC from Russia, the speeds are showing that everything populated on that hard drive or thumb drive in a matter of like 49.9 megabyte per second. The highest speeds available for download from Russia to the US is at something like 27 or 28. It's impossible. It can't happen. What they're telling us is a lie. So give us the truth if you want us to sit on anything. I can't go forward anymore with their lies until they can correct that one for me. Instead of just, folks, when you get down to the nitty gritty on any of these smokescreen things, there's always something that just don't add up. And it's because it's a lie. There's always that little loophole, right? That there's always that, a good lie is 98% truth, but there's still 2% that's a lie. And if you find that, then you got them. That's all it takes. It takes, one little fraction of their story to just open the whole thing wide open. Okay, we got some new Q posts. That's what we're doing. I'm doing this video for 7 minutes in, rambling, but hey, it needs to happen sometimes. Again, make sure you're subscribed. If you're new to the channel here, take a look down below in the description box. All the links if you need to email. We appreciate all donations sent. So take a look down below. Make sure you share this video across all social media platforms while you can. We are heavily shadow banned here at the Patriot Hour, and we rely on you sharing it manually to outbeat YouTube's BS algorithms. All right, we don't get put in the traditional way. We're not shared. We're not recommended typically. And some of you talk about the ads. Again, folks, on videos where I use any other little clip. It's even gotten so bad that if I show a Fox News 2-minute clip, they're hitting you on it. They're banning. I've had videos blocked by Fox News because of showing their stuff. Other than that, they'll attach, and I'll get shadow banned for my own stuff. But if the video is of the same content and somebody else wants to grab on, oh my gosh, they let them have ads on it, and it's like opened all the way up for them. All right, let's make this a little bigger. I'm gonna see where we're at. I think 3586 was the last one, or indictments coming on the 11th of November at 8:56 p.m. So here we move to the 13th of November at 11 o'clock this morning, just before, about an hour before noon. 3588. Let me make this a little bigger. Go to 200. 3588. So we got a Twitter status here from Sarah Carter. Scandal. What kind of tools and assets could a deep state official have allegedly used to surveil journalists in the Ukraine? It must have been a matter of national security to order surveillance of a U.S. citizen, hopefully duly approved by a U.S. court, which we know it wasn't. So July 8th of 2019, in the brackets, surveillance of Supreme Court Special Counsel and JS terminated. I'm having a hard time with all the names again. It's been a while. Surveillance of SC and JS terminated. Q. Relevant to upcoming D-class events. So Sarah Carter, most likely. And then JS. Relevant to upcoming D-class events. So we're going to have some events coming up on the D-class. Signals Intelligence, 5i. All right, that's the foreign UK, US. There's like 5 countries, Australia. They're all part of this 5i. All right, you have total access. The way that it works for U.S. Intelligence, if you're overseas, you can sometimes get access over there. It works a lot different than our own intelligence here. You have to sign into computers, sign logs. It's all tracked. Other countries don't have it so much so. The narrative of this is they were using the signals intel, the Five Eye, to spy on American citizens, loopholing our whole system. Now, the only time that they end up coming back to our own system and putting things into the FISA, getting the fake dossier, is they wanted to do it legitimately. They lost, so they needed to have something going on for the insurance file. While Trump's in, get this in legitimately. So they scrambled in that 3 to 4 months once Trump won and Obama was going to be leaving to do things and get it legitimately put in. So that way they weren't left in the complete dark, and they went to plan B. So signals intelligence, Five Eye, domestic. They took the signals intel, Five Eye, and harnessed all that towards our domestic U.S. citizens by bypassing. Do you believe in coincidences? Mathematically impossible. 1 out of 100. But the narrative suggests nothing is accurately forecasted, and this is simply a big conspiracy theory. In the brackets, loony. Ask yourself a very basic question. Would the fake news complex, in the brackets, New York Times, Washington Post, NBC, ABC, BBC, and just tons of other dots here, in the brackets, attack us if we weren't a real threat? Why would they spend so much time on people like myself or anyone else reading these, and you guys are watching it, and we actually get the little bits here, and then we see it truly happen? It doesn't work for everybody. People that are following the other side, all this looks just as goofy to them as well. And then there's another narrative of people that know this is real, and they're going to do everything they can to discredit it. But not everybody. Some are just too ignorant, still asleep, not awake. So ask yourself a very basic question. Why is a form where drops are made under constant attack? Narrative to deplatform necessary because precursor to violent attacks posted there prior to carry out. Precursor postings occurred on 4chan, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, IG. Push to deplatform. Why only 8chan? Bonus question. Was a time of posting pre/post actual event? Logical thinking. March 20th of 2019. Increase in attacks, deplatform, shill infiltration, MSN, fake MAGA direct links to terrorism and acts of violence only demonstrates validity and close proximity to justice. In the brackets, pain. Q. Boomerang. You're witnessing the largest organized disinformation campaign to ever be perpetuated on the public. Trust yourself. Be free in your thoughts. The Great Awakening. Return power to the people. It's been a long time since we've had a non-corrupt president who works on behalf of the American people and not himself. America is no longer for sale. And there is a most, I believe, dropped video from Q, which is the speech that got him elected. Something to say. Oh, that speech will go down as one of the greats, like JFK has, Reagan. That will be Trump's. Mark my words on that. That is called a crossroads in history, or a crossroads in this country. Crossroads in history. Yeah. Got a Twitter link here to secret agent. What are the odds of that? Mathematically impossible. Coincidence. The truth is right in front of you. This is something I covered. John Durham was appointed by Trust Sessions on October 28th of 17 as interim U.S. Attorney, later nominated by POTUS as U.S. Attorney. QAnon's first archived post is dated the same date, October 28th. So, John Durham was appointed by Trust Sessions on October 28th, 17. Now, some say on the 27th, there's reports, and it could have came out. They might have made it official on the 28th, but around 5 p.m. on the 27th, there were that article that linked us to the 27th at 5 p.m. that Durham was announced. Maybe it wasn't made official to the next day, but hey, it's really close right there as far as it lining up with times. I'm not missing anything here. 3588, 3589. We're going up here to 3590. This came on the 13th of November 2019 at 11:54 a.m. We got Grassley, July 20th of 17. This is a United States Senate via electronic transmission. The Honorable Rod J. Rosenstein. And Dear Mr. Rosenstein, according to news reports during the 2016 presidential election, Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump, and did so by disseminating documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption, and suggested they were investigating the matter. Ukrainian officials also reportedly helped Clinton allies research damaging information on Trump and his adversaries. At the center of this plan was Alexandria Chalupa, described by reports as a Ukrainian-American operative who was consulting for the Democratic National Committee, the DNC, and reportedly met with Ukrainian officials during the presidential election for the express purpose of exposing alleged ties between then-candidate Donald Trump, and Paul Manafort and Russia. Politico has also reported the Financial Times story that quoted a Ukrainian legislator, Shiria Lachansko, saying that the Trump's candidacy caused Kiev's wider political leadership to do something they would never attempted before, intervene, however, indirectly in a U.S. election. Reporting indicates that the Democratic National Committee encouraged Chalupa to interfere with the Ukrainian embassy staff to arrange an interview with Poroshenko, the president of the Ukraine. So this is laying it out way back in 2017, right? Looks like Grassley sent that. Read carefully, reread carefully. Spy insert, EC, known. Reread drops and spy insert. What do these people have in common? Pelosi's son, Kerry's son, Romney's son, Biden's son. Hint, geolocation. Ukraine. Hint, energy. Coincidence? When GS calls, George Soros calls, D's always answer. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. So it's interesting that they name George Soros, okay? Because, again, if some of you watched that Glenn Beck, where he had the 3 chalkboards out and he went in depth on the Ukraine, I know some of you did, they laid it out. I mean, that Paul Manafort, nothing to do with Trump at the time, was over there. He was around, George Soros. There was like 4 people involved in some heavy corruption. It seems like they literally went to Manafort and cut him a deal of sorts. Like, you go get into the Trump campaign, then we're good, because you got all this dirt over here, and we're going to bring that up after you go work for the Trump campaign for a while. Then we're going to bring up this over here and, hit you up on some crimes over here for what you did. But yet there was all these other people around him, Soros and a couple of others. So, again, I'll leave the link. There's still some more Q posts. I'm not going to be able to read this whole thing, but I guarantee it, they get into Manafort. Or maybe not. Josh Flynn Brown. So, likewise, in individuals whose activities are subject to registration under FARA, who sends information material, 48 hours. All right, so again, I'll leave that one down below for you. So reread carefully. Spy insert, EC. That's the whistleblower, right? I believe. Eric something or whatever. All right, so YouTube, follow the family. Let me pull this one up. It's about a 2-minute video. We can watch this. I gotta pull it up the right way.
The best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. When President Obama became President of the United States, he elevated science to a higher place in our national priorities. It is science, 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 and science. Breaking our crippling addiction to oil. They are developing desirable, efficient cars that get more than 100 miles per gallon. My son Paul, who is here with me, tells me that that is par for the course and not to be overwhelmed by that prospect that will be considered the normal.
We're having a very exciting day here in Washington, D.C. A lot of focus on innovation and technology to help solve a lot of the world's energy crisis. Both oil spills, which we'll be participating in, cars and efficiency, which is represented today, and space and different adventures in using technology from space to make human conditions better here. My name is Paul Pelosi. Of course, I'm on the board of Bristol Oil. And Bristol's here today to talk about accelerating the future. It's about using cars in a more efficient manner. It's about utilizing natural resources, whether it be electricity or gas or fossil fuels, in a more efficient way. And Bristol Oil is part of that solution. We're also going to take place in the next X Prize competition. This X Prize rewarded cars, utilization of natural resources through the use of technology. And that's what Bristol Oil does. It uses technology to maximize the use of natural resources, like oil and other resources. We're excited about the X Prize. Today we rewarded some cars that use oil efficiently and use alternative energy efficiently. The next X Prize has to do with oil spill cleanup and preservation of our planet. Bristol Oil will be part of the next X Prize and should be very successful in cleaning up oil spills such as that happen in the Gulf to improve the quality of life for the people in the Gulf area and around the country and around the globe. And Bristol Oil is the leader in technology, and that's what's rewarded here today. In our innovative agenda for the United States, Bristol Oil is using these new technologies in an effective fashion, and look forward to the challenges and meeting those challenges going forward.
Yeah. I don't like how these people always get into the natural disaster cleanup. That's very common amongst these, politicians, the family members. It's like Pelosi setting up her son to take care of the next oil spill, whenever that shall be. Shortly after he gets the contract, it seems like that will happen immediately, so he can get to making some money. These disaster zones, hurricanes, you get these. It just seems like anytime these things happen, that it's their kids or somebody close to them coming in for the rescue. Little orchestration there, folks. Follow the family. So there's the Pelosi's. And so that was 3591, came on the 13th of November at 132. All right, we're getting up here to another one. Follow the family. Washington Times. Company co-founded by Nancy Pelosi's son, charged with securities fraud. The Securities and Exchange Commission. This is back from 2014, by the way. The Securities and Exchange Commission charged a company co-founded by Paul Pelosi Jr. with fraud on Wednesday after learning the two convicted criminals were running the business. That two convicted criminals. So Paul Pelosi Jr., the son of House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, was the president and chief operating officer of Natural Blue Resources, Inc., an investment company he co-founded that focuses on environmental-friendly ventures. The Securities and Exchange charged 4 individuals with fraud, including former New Mexico Governor Tony Iñana, and suspended trading in the company's stock. Pelosi owned over 10 million shares in the company in 2009. The SEC said Wednesday the company was secretly controlled by James E. Cohen and Joseph Corazza, both whom had previous fraud convictions. Corazza violated federal securities laws and was barred from acting as an officer or director of any public company. Cohen was previously incarcerated for financial fraud. Cohen and Corazza said they were outside consultants, but according to the SEC, they were actually controlled Natural Blue's business decisions without disclosing their past brushes with the law to investors. The pair made hundreds of thousands of dollars off the company. Cohen and Corazza concealed their involvement through a so-called consulting agreement, but their influence over the issue spread much further, said Andrew J. Sersney, director of the SEC's Enforcement Division. Investors in Natural Blue had a right to know who was running the company behind the scenes. Folks, that is crazy. So the SEC suspended trading in Natural Blue stock. A notice filed in the Federal Register on Wednesday by Jill M. Patterson, Assistant Secretary of the SEC, revealed the company had not filed any periodic reports, which were required by law, and they hadn't done so in 4 years. So whatever happened to Pelosi here? He owned the damn thing, and these two people were running it. You'd think he'd have to be somehow involved, or did mommy do something there? That's the whole other thing. We know these people do shit wrong, but none of them get in trouble. Not back then, and not so much yet. Now, there have been lots of arrests, folks. A lot of these indictments have been getting unsealed, or a few of them have, and people have been getting arrested. There's been a lot of people removed from power by as well. All right, the head of the FBI, the head of the DOJ, tons of intelligence people quit, walked away from their positions once Trump won. These are the smart guys that knew the gig was up, that there was digital paper trail, that you're never going to be able to outwit what was coming. So those people gave up immediately when Trump won. Others, still got some today that are screaming really loud because they think that works. That's how ignorant they are. They'll just scream as loud as they can. All right, let's get back here. We're at the 27-minute mark. A little longer than normal, but there was quite a few posts. I think that was it then. Do an update here on the fly. 3592. And that is it, 3592. Okay, I encourage you to come over here to the QMAP pub. I'll leave the link down below. You got all the stuff up here, folks. Proofs and memes, players in the game. You just click on these here, and it'll show you. All right, tell you who's who, and based off the best knowledge of everything we've gotten, whether they're traders or pawns, neutral or unknowns, patriots. Okay, so you can check that out. We got the players in the games, the proofs and the memes. There's over 443 here that are put up with pictures and just different things. Other than that, you can look at the notable deaths, global themes. If you want to look at a particular area of the Q post, resignations worldwide. All right, though, that's huge. We got executive orders, human trafficking, sealed cases. These are the federal indictments. 134,570 sealed, 14,957 unsealed, and 313,793 non-sealed. You can just touch the states here. Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, Texas, California. I mean, there's 23,000 sealed in California. Florida doesn't even, has 1,495. A lot of bad people out there. Non-sealed. I mean, it's a big state. I get it. Lots of people, but. All right, so you can check that out. You can look at all the, and just a little bit of everything is here. So highly recommend it. All right, I'm going to let this video be done. Shut it down. Again, look for more videos later on today. I've been watching the impeachment trials. I hope you have as well. I would have aired it today. We'll probably get the next one that comes up. This was the opening. I was out of studio all morning, just got back, so it was just impossible to do the things that I wanted to do for you and myself, so I had to pick one. and I had to take care of things. I've already letting it go long enough, so I had things to tend to. Again, thank you for joining in, and we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update video coming real soon, later today. Make sure you're subscribed, and again, have a blessed afternoon into your evening, and we'll see you back here later on. Have a great afternoon, folks.